our next speaker. Our next speaker is the amazing Yolanda Alvares. Yolanda is a speaker, author, and empowered parenting mentor. In her early career, Yolanda completed a Bachelor of Economics and went on to complete her Master's in Business Management, otherwise known as an MBA. Yolanda is the proud parent of two daughters, 17 and 22, who, get this, they co-authored her book, Abundant Motherhood, Empowering Mums to Empower Their Kids. Yes, you heard right, co-authored. As a parent and then a single parent, Yolanda went on a journey of breakdown to breakthrough and decided to embark on a career change. She didn't want anyone to have the experience that she did. Since then, Yolanda completed her certification as an emotional intelligence coach, a reiki master, a mindset mentor, and has gone on to start two businesses: Empowered Parenting and Giggles for Girls. Armed with these tools, Yolanda is on a mission to change the face of parenting. Since 2017, Yolanda and her team have run over 300 empowering events for kids, successfully transformed over 200 families, and run workshops and programs, not just in Australia, but in New Zealand and also in orphanages in India. Yolanda's way of life has created powerful relationships with her daughters, with whom she is very close. She has learnt the power of self-love, and during COVID, she gifted herself a spa. This is her happy place. Please join me in welcoming to the stage, Yolanda Alvares. Woo, Yolanda.
Thank you, Anna. I am absolutely honored to be part of the Niche Industry Influencers Summit. And I can't wait to share my message. So just want to have a show of hands of the parents in the room. Parents in the room, wannabe parents in the room as well. Beautiful. Great to have you here. So if parenting had a GPS, what do you think it would be saying to us? Reroute now, reroute now, reroute now. That's the journey of a parent. Just connecting to the parents in the room, as Carrie said, if we put our hand on our heart, I would love to ask you this question. Have you, parents, ever felt helpless, unable to connect to your child? You see that they need your support, but they are closed off. I have found that giving your child space to go away, deal with your emotions on your own, or ignoring your child's excessive emotions does not solve the core issue. I have also found that feeling excessive concern, anxiety even, for your child's excessive emotions only amplifies their situation. Research is showing us that kids today are struggling with their emotions. According to the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, in 2013-2014, 6.9% of kids between the ages of 4 to 11 struggled with their emotions. And that number increased to 8.1% in 2021. However, for the age groups between 13 and 18, that number rose from 31.8% in 2013-2014 to 44% in 2020 when COVID hit. However, here's the big blow. This really got me. over half, 56% of our young people, aged 13 to 17, self-harmed, attempted suicide in the past 12 months. The emotional well-being of our kids is alarming. So what has brought our kids to this point? Kids today have access to so much more than we ever did, such as the influence of social media, gaming, access to the big online world. The exposure that our kids are facing today is disrupting their world. And we, the parent, can no longer just play catch up. We must disrupt parenting as we know it. The numbers are all there. We are seeing the extent of disruption in the news, in the media, and why go far away? We're seeing it in our own homes. Parents across Australia, across the world, are seeing it more than ever before in our own homes. It is time for us parents to disrupt the way we have been parenting. We can no longer support our kids in the way that we were parented without the awareness and knowledge that we must have in order to support them. Our kids need us. They need us to equip ourselves with the skills to support and effectively hold space for the emotional ups and downs that our kids are experiencing as a result of the influences of their environment. I am a single mom of two girls, aged 22 and 17. There was this one particular evening in our home in Melbourne when my daughter my youngest was 15 years then. It was past 9 p.m. and I began to hear deep sobbing sounds coming from my daughter's bedroom. I felt a tug in my tummy. I knew those sounds. You see, I've been down this path before. As I walked to her room and opened the door, I found my usually bubbly, happy, cuddly, and gorgeous little girl curled up in a ball on the floor in front of her bedroom mirror. She was experiencing an acute inflammation on her skin. Her face was an eruption of breakouts. She was going through another episode of acute eczema. I can't do it anymore, Mom, she cried to me with tears rolling down her face. I don't want my friends to see me this way. The girls in school make fun of me. They ask me what's wrong with my face. It hurts, Mom. I don't know what to say. I just want to die. Please let me go, Mom, she pleaded with me, with her face all red and swollen from the eczema and big tears rolling down her face. My heart sunk. A part of me wanted to shout out at her and to say, stop this nonsense. You are so beautiful. Why do you care about the comments of insensitive kids? Another part of me wanted to dwell in feelings of guilt. What kind of a mom was I? Why had I not gotten to the bottom of this? Why had I not gotten my daughter the help she needed as yet? You see, we had been to every kid specialist that we could access. However, my voice, I'm just not a good enough mom, kept repeating. Have you ever felt this? Have you ever experienced moments like this with your kids? You see, as parents, we are playing out patterns of learned behavior based on our own experiences, based on the way that we were parented. We are not living a life We are living out patterns until we disrupt our pattern and become aware of how these patterns are influencing us and influencing the way we support our kids. Because I have experienced the limited version of the mom I was playing out, the mom playing out patterns based on the way I was parented, parenting from my fears, the need to protect and overprotect my kids, trying to keep them safe, keeping my kids safe from the experiences that I had as a child, having experienced sexual abuse in our home growing up, and parenting from feelings of guilt that was coming from feeling like I was not being a good enough mom. As a result, my girls had built a wall around me to protect themselves from me. That's what our kids do. They protect themselves from us, the parents, from the overreacting, overprotecting, and at times over anxious patterns that we play out based on our own stuff. Here's the gap. Parents were not raised with emotional support from their own parents. The generation from where many of us have come from have not experienced or have not been parented by parents who have been emotionally aware, which is a massive reason why we need to step in and disrupt the way we have been parented. Our generation of parents, like the ones before us, were raised to suppress instead of expressing emotions. And over periods of time have led parents to bottle up emotions and unhealed, even traumatic experiences. And this has been coming down generationally. It is time to disrupt the way we know parenting. Social pressures, the expectation of the perfect body, skin, exposure to extended hours of gaming, and the online world is leading our kids to emotionally shut down on connecting within themselves. Anxiety levels are at the highest. Children are between the age groups of 4 and 11 today are being diagnosed with anxiety and given medication for anxiety. That night, as my daughter was experiencing another episode of her traumatic skin condition, I was able to support her and guide her out of her feeling of overwhelm and anxiety due to her condition and bring her back in the quickest possible time to her own innate stability. I was able to do this because I have a formula for disrupting parenting. What I did that night was I identified my own pattern, my pattern of self-blame, guilt, not feeling like a good enough parent, and nipped that in the bud because I was aware. I have addressed and become aware and worked through the effects of my past experiences and unhealed experiences and emotions. I have diffused my triggers through various emotional processing techniques, which I teach and support on the programs that I've been running all over the world online. I recognize the choices that I have. I am empowered to choose my thoughts, my emotions, which lead me to take the actions and consciously create the results that I'm after. I am ready to step into creating more calm and more peace in my home. As parents, unless we are able to disrupt the way we have parented, we are not going to be able to support our kids and the future of our kids. I'm going to share with you my 5-stage process with your permission. So we are not living a life, we are living out patterns unless and until we disrupt and become aware of those patterns. My 5 stages of empowered parenting are: step 1, identify the pattern. Step 2, become aware of the effects of our past experiences on our parenting. Step 3, diffuse the triggers within us. It's like a gun. A gun is loaded with ammunition. It sees an external trigger, which is what our kids are doing. They're playing out events and circumstances that trigger us, and we are then pulling the trigger. So that happens within us. We might think the triggers are affecting us externally, but these triggers are playing out within us, and which is causing us to release the ammunition. Step 4 is to empower ourselves with new choices so we can become aware of what thoughts are playing out, what emotions and what actions are we taking which is giving us the result that we are seeking. And this is the 5 stages that bring us to experience the calm and the peace within ourselves first, to create that and support our kids through this. In other words, guys, if we must master our own emotion in order to master our parenting experience. Allow me to tell you a little bit about the emotional mastery program that I run for parents to support them on this journey. It is a 12-week program that supports parents to have a transformational experience and meet their kids where they are at. It includes a range of one-on-one work along with myself, teaching you the skills so you can then hold space for yourself, and from that space, hold space for your kids and meet them where they are at and take them through this 5-stage process. On my program, I share with you thought models. One of these is my TEAR model, which spells thoughts, which allows us to become aware and really master and gain greater control over the thoughts that we have. Given that example of my daughter lying on the floor, had I not observed the thoughts, or in the past, as I experienced these episodes with her, my thoughts went into feeling guilt. My thoughts went into thinking I was not a good enough parent. My thoughts went into wanting to protect her. And my thoughts also would go into feeling upset with the way she was choosing her thoughts. So being mindful about our thoughts as we parent is so key to this journey, because from our thoughts form our emotions. So nipping the thoughts in the bud, watching every thought that comes, is a trained process. Our brains need to be rewired to be so conscious of this. And let's do this for our kids, guys. From those emotions that we feel in our body, roll out the actions. The actions that we take, or using that example with my daughter, the actions that I could be taking would have been lifting her up or saying things that were not what she needed at that time. However, the action I took from the thoughts that I was thinking, from the conscious thoughts and the emotions I felt, was to drop down to her level and meet her where she's at. Allow her to express her emotions. I took her through an emotional processing that I had learned and I teach in my mind, what I supported her through to bring her out in the quickest amount of time, which gives us the result that we are seeking. And at the core of all of the results that we seek as parents is the need and the desire to connect with our kids. I take parents on a 12-week journey where we meet as a group and we connect and dive into 12 mastered topics that support a parenting journey. And we learn so much from other parents experiencing so much in their lives with their kids. I've been running this program online since COVID, and the feedback and the experiences that parents are having with their kids have been transformational. I invite you to go on to our website. You'll have the link there to get an understanding of what this might be and if this is a fit for you. Just with awareness of all that I've shared, you can go ahead and do this yourself, or you can fast track your results and join our 12-week program. Just looking to see if we have time, but we've got this gorgeous mom here, Julianne, who shared her experience with us. I invite you to go onto our website and have a peek there. You will have a link to jump on a free 30-minute session with me. What we will do on this session is we will uncover your parenting pattern. Remember, our patterns are what drives us and drives our parenting experience. So we will uncover your parenting pattern. We will look at triggers that are prevalent in your experiences. We will get clarity on your child's patterns because they have learned a pattern from where they are at with you and their behaviors too. And we will uncover and look at the influence of your parenting and on the experiences of your child. I can't wait to connect with you and share with you this journey and show you how you can support your child exactly where they need it. It is time to disrupt our parenting as we know it, so we can disrupt what's happening in our child. I'd love to connect with you. The link will be there on the connection form. I'm happy to answer any questions with you as well. I'm the founder of the Empowered Parents Group, and you will have a link to join the group as well. With that, thank you so much to everyone for joining me today.